more of a topic that's been hard to talk about. I'm gonna just get right into it. So yesterday I had a dream with my grandfather. That stuck out for a lot of reasons. Before I go into the dream, my grandfather on my mom's side, he transitioned like a couple years ago. I want to say like not too long. I want to say after his birthday. I think he passed in November, but it's been way longer than a decade. It's been like 15 plus years or something like that. Cause he passed when I was really young. So at that point, how I found out is I was sleeping. He was sick. He had a lot of things wrong. I know I believe he had his legs cut off because he had diabetes, and I guess the blood couldn't flow to his legs. I don't really remember all the details, but he had that amongst a lot of other health issues, and he would always joke, but I know he was also a little bit serious about like he just wanted to like die like type shit. But it was like he was joking, but it was also a bit seriousness because I think he didn't really like being cooped up in the house. I just remember him like doing a whole bunch of different shit. Like because of him, I would say I'm very hands on. Like I like building and doing stuff because I would see him like going to. Well, sometimes I would be with him and we just be. He had like I was about to say electric scooter. He had a I guess electric wheelchair. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but y'all know what I mean. Electric wheelchair. If not, I'll pop one up. But he had an electric wheelchair. He would drive around sometimes and he would just bring stuff home and fix it. So whether he found the OTV, he just fixed it. And I thought that as a little kid, and you feel me, I didn't have my father in my life and stuff like that. So when I see now, I just thought that was amazing. Like being able to just fix things up. So I remember, I don't know if he was still alive or not at this time, but I just remember opening a cable box that I think I found or that didn't work, and I was trying to fix it, and then I just electrocuted myself because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just always saw him tinkering with shit, and he just would fix it. I was in my room. I heard. I just woke up because I heard. I guess my mom's phone was ringing, and it was my mom, my step pops in the crib at the time, and my mom gets a call. Like I just knew it wasn't right because he was in the hospital at that time, and for me, even now to this day, as I'm sure it is for a lot of people out there, it was especially at that age. It was hard to go see somebody in the hospital, bro. Like that shit, especially as a child, like that's not, you feel me, something you want to do. I did see him one time prior to that, prior to him passing, probably like a couple weeks ago, because I guess he knew that that time was coming, but just thinking about that shit. Yeah, so my mom got the call, and I just hear her crying, like she was just breaking down. At that time, I remember that day because I didn't really know how to feel. Because you're a kid, you don't really, you think you know a lot of shit and you think you understand shit, but you really don't at that age. And and I didn't really understand death or anything like that. I knew I felt sad, but I didn't understand the full scope of it type shit. So fast forward the next day, I went to school the entire day, and then when I got home, I think my grandmother, no, I don't think my grandmother sat me down because my grandmother was going through it. Because my grandmother, she has a big heart. She loves hard. To this day, she hasn't been with somebody. That happened like 20 years ago. That's just who my grandmother is. It was my sister. I know it was my mom and my aunt, and I think it was like one of my other aunts or something like that, and my sister. I don't really remember, but I just remember them telling me, and I was just like, all right, like I knew already. I heard, I think I told them that I heard it yesterday or whatever, and I think they asked me if I was alright, and I was like, yeah, like I'm alright. Not on some like fuck him or like like it is what it is, but it's like I couldn't even, thinking back now, couldn't even fathom the process that. You get what I'm saying? So. Hey, this shit hard to talk about. Fast forward to the funeral. Everybody was, well, a large part was there. I don't know if his brothers came from Puerto Rico or anything like that, but my grandmother she broke down. Like I remember that day, like she just was crying, like hysterically, like nonstop, like just like she couldn't. I think my mom might have been crying a little bit, but everybody was just trying to stay strong for my grandmother. That was probably the first time I seen my uncle cry. Like, you know. Um, it was people from the community there, just because my grandfather, he used to, I think he was like, in one of the corner stores, like, one of the main corner stores in the neighborhood, he used to just be like security or whatever, because like my grandfather was tall as shit, and he used to love boxing. But I'll get into all of that part and stuff like that later. But you feel me? It was just a lot of people there showing love, just seeing him one last time. It was an open casket, so seeing that as a kid, again, didn't know how to process it. So I think in my mind, I was still seeing him. So like, it was it was like he's still here. And then it came time to leave. I'll never forget it, cause my mom, her neighbor, well, I should say our neighbor, rest in peace to Rosalind. She also passed like years later. She drove us to the funeral spot, and I remember her telling my mom to telling my mom to like get me out of here, cause like once I felt like we was about to leave, I started breaking down. Part of me, when I was there as a kid, I do remember like, yo, should I feel some type of way? Like, am I supposed to be sad? Am I supposed to be having, you know? And then when that happened, like, I started crying, and I didn't want to leave. And, but I never really, I wouldn't say at that age, and then as life went on, I never really dealt with that shit, you know? I never, I just never dealt with it. And then I'm telling y'all this because now fast forward to now, to yesterday when I had the dream. It was weird as shit. Like, you see, I got these wristbands on, right? Like, one of them I took from yeah, I be stealing my friend's wristbands. In the dream, he's like giving me these wristbands, but it's hard in the dream. The thing about the dream is so hard to see what's going on. Like, I couldn't really make out his face, and I couldn't really make out words, but I felt like it was his energy, and I felt like that's what I saw, if that makes sense. I don't know if you ever had a dream like that, but he was giving me these wristbands, and he was giving me other wristbands, and I felt like he was talking to me too, but it was like he was in a different place than me. Like, he was trying to breach through. Like, I can't explain it. Like, it looked like it was a light. I know this shit gonna sound like crazy. Like, it was a light. Not on some like movie shit where I see, oh, you know, all the shit. Like, it wasn't on some shit like that, but it was like a light behind him, and I couldn't really make out too much of what he was wearing. I know I saw him as because there's only one picture that to my knowledge that I've seen of him with his legs not cut off. I saw him as that, like standing up as that, and he was just giving me like, he gave me this wristband like a couple times, and then he gave me other shit, and it sounded like he was trying to talk. Like, imagine somebody trying to talk to you, and they like not some whispering shit, like it's there but it's just not it's like the volume is down. You ever watch something and you can't find a remote but the TV's on like, I don't know, like 3 or 5, and you could hear it, you feel me? Like, it's clear but that shit is just low. But yeah, he was giving me wristbands, and then I felt like he was trying to say something, and like I think maybe while I was in a dream I could tell, and it started to turn into a lucid dream. And then I could tell, but I can't remember, because once I woke up, I didn't really remember. But how I woke up was definitely interesting. He either placed his arm on my shoulder and or kissed my forehead, said like everything was gonna be okay, or everything was gonna be alright, like something like that. Or it's like he said that, and or I either felt that from those acts. And then I just started crying, bro, like uncontrollably. And then I'm like, oh, it got to a point I was crying in my sleep. And then once that happened, I was like, nah, I gotta get up. I woke up, and then I just felt like tears coming down like crazy, bro. Like, it was just a real event, because to even take this a bit further, when I was younger, he's the only family member that I've really had like dreams about. Like, it's like a lot. Like, when I was younger, before he passed, I used to have this dream about him getting eaten by a shark all the time. And that was the only dream that I used to wake up crying to, like every time. Like, I've never really had another dream. I think maybe, you know that dream we all have where we're like falling and then we like jolt up. I think maybe one of those I cried. But like, when I was younger, I used to have that dream about him getting eaten by a shark on the beach all the time, and I used to wake up crying. This was before he passed. I had that dream like maybe in my lifetime, probably between 3 and 5 times. So when I had that and I woke up crying, it gave me that same sort of shit. And then when I told you I felt like he was just like, everything's gonna be alright, like everything's gonna be okay type shit. And I was just like, that shit, life is crazy, bro. I felt the emotions I felt, like I can't even explain. Cause like I said, as a kid, you're not really able to process those emotions. So I felt like until yesterday, bro, all of that shit was suppressed. Everything. I don't know if y'all seen one of my other videos, but in one of my older videos, I talk about like how it was becoming hard for me to be vulnerable and how I felt like there was a lot of situations where maybe I was feeling overwhelmed, and if I even felt like I was about to cry, my body automatically suppressed it. Like I couldn't. This is the first time like yesterday that I cried in a very long time, and I'm not saying that as like some tough shit. Like nah, nigga, that I think you should, especially as a dude. That's why I wanted to do this video too. I wanted to do a little journal, you know, for my grandfather as well. We all know that life is not just perfect. You feel me? Forget what you see on social media or on YouTube, whatever, wherever you go to consume. It's not just like that. We all know better. It might seem like that, and it's easy to portray that, but it's not just like that. You feel me? And that's okay. People need to understand and see that it's okay to feel those emotions, especially for a nigga. It's okay to cry. Like that's why I was so bothered by that, cause I'm like, not with some. I wanted to force myself to cry or anything like that. But as much as I've been going through, and I have been being positive and stuff like that, I felt there was times where I felt overwhelmed or things were just going however they were going, and I felt like that's what I wanted to do, but it just wasn't coming out. That dream I had, I feel like whenever he made contact, whether like I said, whether he touched my shoulder or he kissed me on my forehead and told me that, it's like everything from everything came out. His death, well, him transitioning, any obstacles that I had faced that I felt overwhelmed, like when the shit happened with my car, or me like maybe having some doubt about my future, you know, things like that. Everything just came out. It just came out, and that shit, it was a surreal feeling. I kind of just wanna, cause my camera about to die. I ain't never thought I was gonna make a video like this. You feel me? Like on camera, like showing this side. But how I want to end the video is kind of like talking to him. Also, I'll leave y'all with some words if my camera don't die. But I just wanted to say that you played a huge role in my life. I know when I was a kid, I used to get upset at little stupid shit like having to help you to the bathroom or get you something to drink while I'm playing Spider-Man, some stupid shit like that. I regret none of it. I feel like you showed me a lot of what it takes to be a man, especially when you were so limited on what you could do. Your presence was still felt. Your presence was still felt in that household. You taught me how to defend myself as a little ass kid, being angry, fighting all the time. You love boxing. I loved watching boxing with you. Some of my greatest memories. It's definitely why I would say I know a little bit more than the average when it comes to defending myself. So I appreciate you for that, and just sharing that with you. It's definitely one of my favorite memories. I remember one time that I was just getting so tired of like bringing him something to drink all the time, like while I was playing my game, just dumb kid shit. I forgot, he was just being a smart ass and shit like that. So I went and got like a Pepsi can, forgot, because he loved drinking soda, so I poured in whether it was Pepsi or Coke. And then I had, before y'all say anything, this was just how a relationship is. I didn't give it to him, obviously. But I poured a cup of, what was it, bro? Oh, Pepsi, and then I think I put like some of the Clorox powder, and then I went to him and I'm like, "Hey, like, look at this cup. I put all this, I put Clorox and everything in it, cause you always asking me to get something to drink. Like I'm tired of it, whatever." He's like, he looked at me. He's like, "I don't care. Give it to me. I'm gonna drink it, and I want to die anyway," or something. He said something smart, And then I just laughed and I poured it out and I threw the cup away too, because I was paranoid as a kid. I'm like, damn, does that shit come out of the cup? But I threw the cup away. I poured him a regular glass of soda and then I gave it to him and we laughed about it a bit. And then he was watching boxing, so I think I was playing the game, so I just stopped what I was doing and I watched it with him. I have a whole bunch of memories with him like that in general of just, you know, I just want to tell you that thank you. Seeing you yesterday helped me out a lot. I appreciate you coming to see me. I appreciate what you did for me while you was here and what you did for me in that dream, because I felt like you unlocked something that was there, that was just dormant in me for so long, that vulnerability. I love you. I miss you. Yeah, your energy will live with all of us the rest of the time that we here and beyond that. And to anybody that's, if you're still watching this, if you've been through something like this, I mean, even if you never decide to post it, you don't have to, but I would recommend recording it and like kind of just treating it as a journal. And if you want it to be something personal to you, let it be something personal to you, you know. The point of that would just be to get all those feelings out. Like, I can't tell you how much times that like I just talk to myself and I get myself through a lot of shit just speaking out loud. That's me personally. If you're not somebody that does that, I would even say, like I said, try to record it and get those things out, because we've all dealt with loss and it's different on each level. Like, your loss is no better or lesser than my loss in any form. It's, you feel me, a family pet or whatever the case may be, how a family member, a friend, however you want to look at it. Whatever type of loss you've experienced is no better or lesser than anyone else's, and you're entitled to grieve how you grieve. I will recommend, it's really hard for you to deal with those situations, I would say confide in somebody, whether it's somebody close to you, a friend, a random stranger. Like I said, journaling, writing, get it out. It's very easy to slip into like substance abuse or some sort of outlet as a distraction that's not necessarily conducive to you, because any form of distraction is not good. You get what I'm saying? Whether you decide to like binge watch a whole bunch of shows to, you know, distract yourself from those emotions, drink alcohol, you know, some will be a little bit more detrimental, but they all have their different effects. And like I said earlier, nothing is better or lesser than the other. Because I know me, especially when I was younger, I used video games a lot like that. And, you know, that has its own sets. It made me less social. So there's certain things I'm trying to do to get back that. And I would say this was definitely something helped with that. And I finally feel like I healed from that, because it never gets easier. I'm pretty sure you know it never gets easier when you lose somebody, but I definitely feel a lot better. I'm glad I was able to finally feel through those emotions, you know, my grandfather, and I probably will still feel through it for a minute, maybe the rest of the week, maybe today. Like, feel through those emotions. It's important to feel through that. Don't look for your cell phone, liquor, anything, because that's not going to do nothing. That's all temporary. You'll feel a lot better. This is definitely more of a video for myself and something I could just come back to and look to if I ever, like, you know, if I found myself missing him or feeling those emotions, you know. But I wish I had some videos and stuff I could like put up. I don't know if any video. I gotta find out if my grandmother has any video. I got a few pictures, so I'll use that as a thumbnail and at the end of the video. But I love you, Grandpa. If this video helped anybody, I'm glad. Just remember, life isn't cupcakes and rainbows. Like, it's okay to feel these emotions and go through unsettling things. And I feel like I wanted to post this or share this just in case somebody see this and it will help. So if this helped you or you're going through something similar now, feel free to DM me on Instagram at longlivekda, or comment down below, message me. I have a TikTok, message me on TikTok, however you want to reach out. I'm on almost every social platform, so just reach out to me and I'll hit you back. But until the next one.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls, I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when the things on your mind are all considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises, or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all. I know that things seem bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a greater curse, a greater thirst, a hunger, pain, and mercy. Just find whatever you got and try to be thankful first. I wanna feel again, I need a couple friends. I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel it's tense, don't know the consequence. The volatility of life, my only confidence. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises, or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all.